Just remember, whatever is sure is Dhamma, so thinking is a kind of Dhamma. That's not enough at all. It's not the ultimate truth of thinking. It's just remembering the word. Thinking is a kind of Dhamma because you have heard that Dhammas are any moment so rare. Whatever is rare is Dhamma. In life, there are only Dhamma. So the question is just thinking is a kind of Dhamma. What kind?
Nama-Dhamma.
What kind?
I don't know the answer, Ajahn. What I have understood is it is Nama-Dhamma.
Okay. How many kinds of Namadhammas?
Chitta and Chetasika.
So what is thinking?
Thinking is Chitta.
And also arising with Cetasika, right?
Chetasika. Yes.
But thinking itself is not Cetasika. It's the
Yes.
chief of experience and object. That's why hearing this is not enough. It means that any kind in life, every kind in life, there must be Citta. Just talk about it. There must be Citta. Why? Because it's the chief of experiencing an object. See, we begin from just one word, the chief of experiencing Dhamma, because only Dhamma, the reality which arises and experiences an object, is only that which experiences the object, experience the world. How many worlds are there? How many universes? How many moons and sun and so on? But without the reality which arises and experience, how can there be such world or universes? So learn about the nature, the reality, which does not belong to anyone, is so real. And who knows how real it is? The Buddha enlightened to the truth, the ultimate truth of Citta and Citasikas. Is it very careful considering to let go ignorance and attachment to both Citta and Citasikas? Without learning the truth that which is so very subtle, never understand the truth at all. Never know who's the Buddha. Never be enlightened. Just keep on. Not you, but Dhamma, conditioned to arise and fall away. Roll on in samsara, non-stop, no end at all. Not anyone. So consider the truth so firmly from the very beginning. Is it true? There is a reality, experience is the object. We don't talk about the name, Citta or Citasika, but there is a reality right now, arises and experience the object. When it's not seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, what is it? Is it there?
Thinking. Yeah.
See, beginning to understand thinking. So think, what is your question?
How do we understand thinking?
What about the problem? What did you say?
Uh,
What did Kunsukin say?
yeah, thinking is not a problem, but if the ignorance is the problem, not understanding thinking is the problem.
Is it true?
Mm. Yeah, now I'm thinking about that also.
See, not you. The problem is it's not you
Yeah.
at all. But we lived in the world of ignorance for how long? Even right now, ignorant of seeing. Whatever is there is covered up instantly by not understanding its nature as it is, that it's gone instantly. Is it true? Beginning to understand the virtues of the Buddha. Is it true?
Yes, Ajahn.
See, firm confidence. Satya Barami develops to be firmer. Adidana Barami never change. That is so deep. What we are talking about is just superficially, not deep down to the ultimate truth now, arising and falling away. From then on, when you understand the truth, no matter who say and what is that about, understanding understands whether that word is right or wrong. See? And that is right understanding, opposite of ignorance. Ignorance cannot understand what is said from this person or that person is right or wrong at all.
mm,
But right understanding understand. If someone say, sit and do this, is that the way to understand the truth? Is that what Buddha taught? See, right understanding knows what's right and what's wrong. So now, right understanding understand the truth. What is thinking and what is problem? Ignorance cannot understand the truth. So it takes what is there right now so permanent as I, something or the whole world. See, is there any question now?
yeah, Ajahn, you mentioned start from very beginning. Can you explain a little more on that? What do you mean by start from very beginning?
Is the beginning now or not?
Okay.
Begin again, listen again, and then
Mm,
all are forgotten. So listen again, understanding a little more again. Against the current, the flood of ignorance. It's just a moment, a few moments of understanding. That's why it's so true, it's so real, it's so absolutely subtle nature. No one knows. But each word of the truth can be studied, and the right attention, wise attention, not anyone knows whether it's right or wrong. That's why, after the wise attention, careful attention, right understanding is there, little by little. Is it true?
mm,
So this is the fourth Ariya Satya, the first round. Makka, the only way. Did Buddha say that? The only way. So not go somewhere sitting doing something at all. The only way is right understanding, samadhi. In samsara, just begin or begin again, consider again, little firmer, little by little, until right now, no doubt of the truth of what is there at all. Does it take quite a long, long time? Years and years?
mm.
Prakash,
It,
you've heard a lot, I've heard a lot, and we're listening to Dhamma. But and Dhamma is now. Is there any understanding? No, right?
Mm, yeah, yeah.
So begin again.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah,
begin again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's I understood now. Start again and again. Because
Hmm.
when there is no understanding of Dhamma, keep start again and again, start again and again.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Ajahn, I followed up that generally we hear you to answer the next question. And you mentioned actually always here now not to answer any question. Can we talk a little more on that again?
if I answer, do anyone you understand or anyone understand? It's a real satya. See, if the
Mm,
answer is that, does anyone understand? What does it mean? Satya and Ariya Satya. See,
mm, mm,
so it's not just tell someone to listen, to follow, but to Buddha said for anyone to consider the truth, to have one's own understanding. Otherwise, it's just remembering what are there in the books, Vinaya, Suttanta, and so on. No understanding of what is taught in the text is there right now. To know it, to realize it. Is that true?
Yes, Ajahn.
So,
Yeah,
if I just answer, can you understand?
no, no.
That's why there must be understanding first, and then you know what's that word in the text is just about.
Mm,
But for example, when we talk about seeing, it cannot arise alone
mm,
because there must be the eye-based Jakku Pasada Rupa, and that which impinge on the eye-base, only one reality, Rupa, the visible
mm,
object, or no matter what word you use, impinge on it. Because even there is just the Jakupasata Rupa, without that which impinge on it, there can never be seeing. So at that very moment, there must be the Jakupasata Rupa. It has a reason before seeing, and that which impinge on the eye base has a reason before seeing. The moment when that rupa impinge on the eye base, it conditions citta. But without the karma, which is ready for the moment of experiencing such object, present or unpleasant, citta cannot arise. So there are more than just one or two conditions for whatever arises now at all. Who knows? No one, all adamas. And at that moment, citta arises, there must be citasika arising with it. That's why there must be citta and citasika and the patakupasatha rupa and that which impinge on it. The other rupa and the other reality has nothing to do at that very moment. Only four are there, the meeting point. That's why the word ayatana just talk about one moment. What are there? See, so from now on, when you heard the word ayatana, no doubt, what has to be there together? But if I say there are 12 ayatanas, the inner and the outer, do you understand this moment?
no.
That's why just talk about the reality until it's known. The word is not the problem. As soon as you know ayatana, from now on, no doubt. And you know who just recite the term ayatana without any understanding at all.
Mm,
Just take for someone or something all the time. No
mm,
understanding of each one as a Dhamma, conditioned to arise and fall away instantly.
okay.
Any
So
answer?
here and now, it should be little understanding to be developed rather answering the question.
Otherwise, when will there be the understanding of Dhamma right now? The seeing?
Mm, mm,
Impossible. No, not the teaching of the Buddha, not to understand whatever is there as it is, no matter what. It's real, it's a reality. And as long as there's no understanding the truth, it's said taken for something instantly. What is seen, a chair, a table, a mirror, whatever is there, not as it is. No understanding of no one there at all. Each moment is Dhamma, conditioned Dhamma, to arise by different conditions, not just one condition only. And this is the understanding of Dhamma, no matter when and where. Talking about Ariya Satya, talking about Tatu, talking about Paticca Samuppada, understanding the nature of Dhamma.
Ajahn, what do you mean by nature of Dhamma here? You mean, is it not me or self? and it is nama and rupa. Do you mean that is a nature, or seeing nature, or hearing nature you are talking
Chào
about?
phòng, chào nhà nhé.
Otherwise, it's the nature, it's the reality, it's the reality has its own nature to be different natures of different realities.
Seeing nature is to see
See,
the object what arises. Is it the
oh
nature of
yeah,
seeing? Is it? Yeah.
only that. See,
Mm, mm,
so the nature is just like the characteristic, but it is
mm,
the nature of the characteristic which cannot
Prakash,
be
mm,
changed.
Prakash, but
mm.
without understanding that seeing is a reality, can there be understanding of its nature of being that reality which sees?
Yeah, there
So
must be.
nature
Yeah.
includes previously, what you just said before, everything, that it is real, it is anatta, it is everything. So we have to hear about every aspect into so as to understand each reality. But without understanding that it's a reality and not just a concept, there cannot be understanding of anything.
Mm, mm. And always uh, there will be a confusion for me. What is the right understanding? And we always use a term, right understanding, understands. Can we touch a little more on that?
Right understanding is the same as understanding of wisdom, but there is also wrong understanding, which means understanding wrongly. So that's why we make the distinction between right and wrong.
So how do we understand here and now while there is a seeing? So how do we understand the understanding, understand the seeing?
If the if seeing is what appears now and understanding understands it as it is, it must be right, right?
So
And there
yeah,
may and there are many levels, of course. We talk about the three rounds and four noble truths. So it can understand intellectually, directly, and insight by insight. So there are levels of understanding. Even
so
now, if it's intellectual
mm,
understanding that seeing is real, that
mm,
seeing does not see people and things, that can be intellectual understanding without understanding the characteristic. It's just
mm,
understanding intellectually without
okay,
direct understanding.
okay, okay.
It's also
So
right. It's right
mm,
from the beginning. It has to be right from the beginning.
okay, seeing is real because something is seen. There is definitely an experience of something is seen. Of course, that something is always uh, not as ultimate reality, but it is still concept. So understanding this, okay, seeing is seeing something right now, here and now, is an understanding. Is that right?
Yes, without this understanding that seeing is real, even though the characteristic don't appear, can there be direct understanding? No. So first there must be intellectual understanding.
Mm, okay, and actually the problem arises is when it is become okay. I am understanding that there is a seeing. That is actually the problem. But in reality, it is not I am understanding the seeing, but it is actually seeing happening due to different conditions, isn't it?
And this I uh, it comes in many various degrees and forms.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be even the idea of thinking that I am seeing. Immediately, there can be arise without even thinking about I. There can be wrong understanding uh, with the sense of I. So it comes in many. It comes immediately after
Mm.
seeing, if there's no understanding, if and it arises very easily.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Tanachan, can you please add?
Yeah, even it's just the same question, it can be talking about, consider about, again and again and again, to have a little more understanding, clear a little bit, until it's so firm, never changed, and that is the first round of Ariya Satya. But don't mind what we are talking about. It's so true, so it has to be Satya Dhamma, the ultimate truth, until it is experienced at that moment so precious in samsara, being able to understand the ultimate truth of what is there right now. So please again, what's your question?
Ajahn, while seeing, how the understanding to be developed. I know understand at the intellectual level. When there is a seeing, there must be something seen. That's why there is an experience of seeing. Is that the way to understand the seeing?
Is it they seeing right now?
Yes.
Not at all. Just heard about seeing and that which is seen. Otherwise, there's no idea at all about the
Mm.
nature, the truth of what is there as it is. That's why understanding, not yet whether it's right or wrong. Can it be?
It can. Yeah.
Can it be just understanding without right or wrong understanding? Just understanding itself, can it be without right or wrong?
I didn't
That's
get the question, Ajahn.
Uh, Achan, you asked about right understanding. So
no.
Achan
I
is
just
saying
thought, yeah.
understand. So Achan is asking, without qualifying it as right or wrong, can we just say understand? Is there this reality of just understanding?
How subtle
Yeah.
it is. How
Yes.
subtle it is. Without right or wrong, can there be just understanding?
Yeah. There should be understanding.
No, not at all. What understanding is there? See, what understanding is there? It has to be right or wrong understanding. There is not
Mm.
just understanding alone at all. Is that right?
Mm. Mm.
It depends on how deep understanding is. I go to see the cinema. Is that right understanding or wrong understanding or just understanding? No understanding at
Wrong
all.
understanding.
No understanding. That's why anytime we just talk about understanding, it has to be just only one kind. Right understanding or wrong understanding, they cannot mix at all. They cannot be mixed, right? Is right and wrong is wrong. So they cannot be just understanding. But in daily life, we say, I understand what you are talking about. But it's not understanding the reality, the nature of what is there at all. That's why Buddha taught about the ultimate truth. How many Jetasikas are there? See,
mm,
what is
mm,
just understanding? Not at all. Right understanding or wrong understanding. How many kinds of wrong understanding? See, not just one.
mm,
But right understanding different degrees. Understanding what? Understanding the truth, the reality, the nature of what is there, appearing right now. That's why it has to be so careful, studying, considering, understanding. Because when you talk about the Abhidhamma, is that just understanding alone? Not at all. There is wrong understanding, Micchaditi and Sammaditi. But when we talk about just diti, it depends on what subject or aspect we're talking about. When we talk about akusala, we mean Micchaditi. Even we say just diti, it means Micchaditi when we talk about akusala. And when we talk about kusala, it cannot be Micchaditi. Even we use the term diti, it means only that right understanding is there. See, Dhamma is Dhamma. The truth of it is covered up.
mm, mm.
That's why we learn to understand the truth right now, at any moment, to be true to the truth. How much understanding of what is taught by the Buddha about the very deep and very subtle reality which appears as not it is at all. That's why it takes quite a long time for any Buddha to develop right understanding, to be Buddha, to be until the parami is perfect. It's the just moment of enlightenment. See, that's now we are learning about the truth, little by little, and considering the moment of enlightenment, the truth, how far it is. It has to be no doubt at all about what is there right now at all. And this is moment of just beginning to develop, to understand the covered nature by ignorance and attachment, the second noble truth. That's right. Don't be underestimate. Don't underestimate the nature, the reality, the truth of what is there, which is taken from someone and people, different nationality, all around the world and in heaven and so on. See, begin to understand what is meant by Buddha's teachings, just about the ultimate truth. So it's just the name, but it does matter, the word. Anyone who listen and understanding the truth, beginning to understand the truth, is the one who see the precious moment of understanding the hidden truth right now. So understanding can be just Sammaditi, right understanding, and Micchaditi. Is it true?
Yes,
Pranachan,
Hajan.
to put it in context, may I ask a question? Uh,
Please.
Pranachan, so in daily life, in conventional, when we're using it, speaking in terms of conventional truth, for example, say a mathematical problem like 2 multiplied by 2 equals to 4. At that time, there's no right understanding, there's no wrong understanding. So the truth at that time is just thinking. Is
Lopa
that what you're
with
pointing at?
Lopa without wrong view.
Right. So you're pointing out, you're trying to help us to be more precise. So when we use the word understanding, we have to be more precise what we mean by understanding and not the conventional idea of understanding. We have to be, and you're pointing out that two different understanding, one right, one wrong. So I think a Prakash, this is what Thanachan is helping us to understand. and to be more precise to what the Buddha meant by right understanding.
To be true to the
Mm,
truth,
mm,
from birth to death, without understanding the reality, the teachings of the Buddha, one just say the word that one has no understanding at all, no matter what word. To be born, say someone. To die, someone. To get sick, someone. See, no understanding at all. She's so very wise. See, what way? The worldly way, the world take it for to be wise, but no understanding, no right understanding of the truth of that reality right now at all. See, that's why from birth to death, just with those words without any understanding of the truth, the reality at all. That's why study Dhamma, we don't follow the worldly word as usual, but the word Buddha said just point to the reality, the nature, the ultimate truth. That's why Buddha said, listen carefully. Otherwise, there can never be the understanding of the truth at all. Listen, not just hearing, and carefully, so very careful considering of what is said and what is heard to understand the truth that Buddha conveyed by such words. That is not underestimate the words of the Buddha.
Ajahn, while seeing, if uh, there is a concept like, yeah, I am seeing the grass, it is a wrong understanding.
Okay, is there seeing right now?
Yes.
Do we have to say any word for it to
N-
see? Or
No,
not at
no.
all
Yeah,
see?
whether we use any word or not, seeing just happens. Yes.
And if there's no word to convey the nature of it, can anyone know we are talking about seeing or thinking or hearing?
For convey, we are using these words. Yes.
Okay, there is seeing right now, thinking right now, attachment right
Yes.
now. Without any word, can anyone understand the difference of the three
No.
realities? That's why Buddha had to teach the truth without word. Who knows who's the Buddha?
Mm.
While he walked on the street, not say any word at all. Who knows he's the Buddha? Impossible. The one who sees me, not just the figure, not just the appearance, but the one who sees me, see Dhamma. It means the one who understands Dhamma knows who's the Buddha. Is it so subtle? Talking about
Mm.
what is there right now, covered up from birth, and it can be to death without hearing, considering the very, very precious reality taught by the Buddha in words. Different words represent different realities.
And Prakash, if I
Mm.
were to ask you, just being curious at where you're sitting and what the view is like, and I ask you, what do you see? You can answer me with understanding that seeing sees color and thinking is just thinking, but convey to me that you see my answer my question by just saying that I see trees and in a field, right? So
Mm.
that it depends on the context of the conversation, but you can say all that without wrong understanding also, because you've heard enough to know that seeing does not see a tree, but it sees experiences only visible object, and tree is just a concept that happens at the time of thinking. With that understanding, you can still say, I see a tree, right? So it depends that on what that thinking is conditioned by. If it's ignorance, it's ignorance. If it is wrong understanding, it's wrong understanding. And just now, Ajahn talked about thinking with just ignorance and attachment. At that time, there's no wrong understanding, can be with no wrong understanding also. So it depends again. Like right now, you can be attached to the trees and all that, but without wrong understanding.
So you mean, I remember the example you gave, 2 into 2 is a 4. That is attachment without wrong understanding, isn't it? That is what the example you are just bringing here
Yeah,
also.
that's just an example, but it depends again on that at that moment what the truth is.
So
But
you mean
but
when
in a day, it's not all the time wrong understanding. Mostly it's ignorance, of course, and very little kusala. When kusala, there's no ignorance, and even less is moments of right understanding. So we can say that most of the time it is just ignorance, ignorance for sure, ignorance with attachment, ignorance with aversion, ignorance with attachment, with wrong view or without wrong view.
yeah, to put a little understanding, while right now I am seeing, since there is a intellectual discussion we had, see, okay, there is a seeing of grass, but I know this is not grass, it is a concept. I mean, this is also a kind of understanding
Yeah,
without
but it is very
attachment.
momentary. It is very momentary. Immediately there can be it can be followed with a wrong understanding, but you wouldn't know it because there's no understanding to know it. But since the understanding is so little, it happens all the time. That's why Diti is one of the asavas. It's ready, it's oozing out. Even listening to Dhamma, listening with the idea of self, asking questions with the idea of self. It happens all the time. Waiting for answer, wanting, expecting certain answers, that's with the idea of self. It happens.
Yeah, when you say all the time it happens, even the confidence goes down. Okay, it happens all the time. So should we really listen again and again, because
Oh,
the nature or condition is so much to happen as a cell. Yeah.
And this is a hindrance, right? When there's doubt and there's these other akusalas arising, and and it's just blocking the at that time, and means that if Thanachan says something useful at that time, you may not even want to hear because of that discouragement. So slowly, the understanding can grow and see what is right and what is wrong.
Think we come back and discuss what is now.
And
Hajan, maybe.
and this is again begin again. That's why we have to
Yeah.
begin again.
Yes. Yes. Ajan, I would like to hear again on the seeing. Right now it is there.
What shall we do?
We
Is it
discuss
right or
seeing.
wrong? Is it right or wrong? What shall we do?
What do you mean by that, Ajan? Right.
But I'm asking you to consider, what shall we do? It's right or wrong.
consider whether
Is
it
that
is
the
right or
answer? Is that the answer? Listen carefully. Listen carefully to the
mm.
question. So, what is the question? What shall we do? Is it right or wrong? This is the way to study again and again and again how subtle it is. Otherwise, the eye drag one's away again and again to other object, to other thought, to other interest. But no understanding of even just what shall we do? Is that right or wrong?
Prakash, I'm asking the question, what shall we do? Is that
No,
right or wrong?
I actually I didn't get the and
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
that's what I'm
understand the
saying. Now,
question
now I'm
honestly.
now
Yeah.
I'm asking, what shall we do? And Achan is asking, is that
What
right or wrong? My asking the question, what shall we do? Is that right or wrong?
it is right.
What shall we do? I'm asking, what shall we do? Would I ask, what shall we
Yeah.
do?
So what do you mean by that?
Okay, we've discussed a lot, and there's we all know there's not enough understanding, and there's doubt, and then a thought
Hmm.
arises in my mind, and I say, what shall we
Okay.
do, Thanachan?
What can we? Yeah, we should keep listening again and again. Yeah. Keep listening, considering.
Thanachan, Prakash's answer is we should keep listening.
We
But
should.
Achan is asking, is it right or wrong? This question.
Now, what do you mean by right or wrong? Yeah,
What
this
What
shall
shall
question
we
is
we
not
do?
do?
wrong.
What
Just what
shall we
shall we
do?
do?
Yeah, this is not a wrong question. Yes. Yeah.
See, but once a while ago you say, you said, what shall we do? But in truth, it's quite wrong because there is the idea of I, of self, again
Hmm.
and again and again. That's why it has to be so very careful listening and considering. Because Dhamma is so very subtle. How many moments are there now?
Yeah,
See,
many, not countable. Yes.
uncountable, including the idea of self, which is at level of asava. See,
Hmm.
otherwise, why Buddha said asava? What is it? In between so numerous and uncountable moments, it's there, unknown. That's why it has to be understanding what is there. So very careful, little by little. Are you asking about seeing now?
Yes, Acha.
What is seeing? Is there seeing? Are you seeing?
Yeah. We know at the Pariyatti level. I am not seeing it, but
No,
it's
just
still yes.
thinking on the way
Mm.
that has been heard, the word
Mm.
so very precious and subtle of the Buddha. Who's he? See, that's why each question should be considered again and again to get through it with understanding, not just say without any understanding at all. That's why you asking about seeing. It's real, isn't it?
Yes.
Little by little. Should it be known?
Yes, Acha.
Why? Why?
Because it is real,
Only that?
seen. Yes.
Everyone knows when you say, it's real. See, it's real now. Everyone sees. Is that all? It's not the
Um.
understanding of seeing at
Mm.
all. Just know there is seeing. Everyone sees, and I am seeing right now. No understanding of seeing. But Buddha taught about the truth of whatever is there. Has seeing arisen right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, Ajahn.
Who knows? No one knows. Because no understand of seeing, so how can
Okay.
there be? Seeing arises or it has arisen when there's no understanding of seeing. That's why seeing is real. Beginning to consider what is the meaning of reality or what is real. It's there, see. It does not hear, it does not like, it sees. So attend to one reality at a time. See is real, it's there. It has a reason. It sees that which is seen. Only that. Little by little, to understand how very precious the teachings of the Buddha, conditioned moment of being attending to the nature of that which hasn't been attended before at all. But without attention carefully to the truth, how can there be the letting go of ignorance of seeing and taking it for I see or someone see all the time? See, this is the precious moment. Be careful listening carefully to the truth which is so very deep and hidden by ignorance, covered up instantly all the time. So now, realizing that there's no understanding of seeing at all, so there cannot be the understanding of anything in life today or every day when there's no understanding of seeing. Just understand how much ignorance covered up each reality, not only one reality, not just seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, attachment, aversion. And this is the way to understand, to have confidence of satya, the truth of reality, to understand it. There's no way until listening and considering very careful right now. Otherwise, there's no way at all to realize the truth of seeing that Buddha had realized. So the point of listening is not just to know the word about what is there, but the nature of it, the ultimate truth of it. Each moment is so real. So
Uh, Ajahn, there is no uh, understanding of the ultimate truth of seeing.
now, right
Yes.
or wrong? That's why can it be realized? Its nature, the ultimate truth, because it's so real. Right now, it's seeing, see, but why it's not realized? Because it does not appear alone as it is. We are thinking, attachment, or whatever is there while they see all the time. It seems, but in truth, never be every moment all the time, like it appears. How much ignorance of the world of each moment, see, we beginning to understand how great wisdom the virtues of the Buddha.
And Prakash, by ultimate truth, it's not meant, ultimate truth of seeing, it's not meant that, uh, that everything about seeing.
Hmm.
It's not, that's not the meaning of ultimate. Ultimate here means that absolute in the sense that it cannot be broken down. It is uh, seeing, and it's the truth that cannot be changed. That's the meaning of ultimate truth. Not that everything about seeing, that it is a Dhamma, it's a Nama, it's Chitta, it is Ayatana, it is Khanda. It's not like that. Ultimate here means just that you understand, even intellectually, that seeing uh, is a conditioned reality. conditioned by eye and visible object and all that. That is understanding the ultimate nature of seeing, the beginning of understanding.
Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Though there is no complete understanding of seeing, understanding little bit about, yeah, as you mentioned, it is heights and objects and no
Yeah,
self
but
in
the
that.
but that again points to your understanding, points to the fact that the understanding of seeing one reality or visible object, one reality, has to be understood quite a lot, to many aspects about it, has to be understood fully. In other words, fully.
What do you mean by fully understood?
Fully means that a understanding cannot reach the next level without more and more understanding, intellectual understanding. And from that level of uh, pati, direct understanding, it cannot reach the level of pativeda without more and more understanding of that same reality. So it
Mm,
reaches a point where it understands everything about that reality. Not as much as a Buddha, but
mm,
enough to reach enlightenment.
mm, mm. Yeah, at this moment while we are talking, it is more on intellectual understanding.
Intellectual and beginning of intellectual.
Understanding.
Intellectual understanding has to go on for many more lifetimes before there can be direct understanding. And that also continue for many lifetimes before uh, insight or pativeda. And that also has to go on before it reaches the level of magga, means
Mm,
enlightenment.
mm. Yeah, it seems to be some of us are in very hurry. Why I said this? I was talking to another friend last week after come back from Bodh Gaya. He was mentioning, yeah, when do we really understand if we take like this, like you mentioned, intellectual understanding may take many lives, right? He was mentioning when we sit and do, we understand little more. He was still coming back, sitting and understanding. Yeah, just that example.
Hmm. And that is uh, someone who doesn't appreciate that the path is gradual, very
Mm,
slow, and yeah, like you said, he's in a hurry to get
mm,
there. Yeah.
mm, mm.
Chan, I have a question. Can I ask, please?
Please.
Yes, I heard in the Thai talk, which you had just 2 days ago, uh, one of the speakers was talking about anatta sanya, that it anatta sanya only happens at the level of vipassana. So it seems that I need to hear more about anatta sanya. Can you please talk a little bit about it?
Because it's just now the understanding of the meaning only of anatta. But the reality is itself anatta, not just only the term about it, but the truth is that each one cannot be atta, anything or anyone at all. So how can it be known? Not by hearing. Hearing is beginning to understand the meaning of atta and anatta. See, the first round has to be so very keen, very clear understanding by the way of intellectual only of atta and anatta. That's why
And
without hearing the truth, all are taken for atta, isn't it? In truth, no matter in word or not any word at all.
yes, Tanuja. But at the level of Satipatthana, it is definitely not Atta Sanya at that time. And if it is not Anatta Sanya, what can we say about the Sanya? It's just right Sanya, but not wrong Sanya. Is this it?
As long as it does not appear as it is. So, what is the meaning of as it is? Not just begin to mind
Hmm.
of the characteristic. That is the beginning right now. Without understanding, hardness is there. No understanding at all. But after hearing about hardness and that which experiences hardness, at that moment of thinking, it's not the moment of realizing the truth. So imagine when the truth is there, never been known before, the truth of anatta, just having heard about the truth of anatta. It's quite different.
Hmm. So is it, if I put it in these terms, that at the moment of Satipatthana, the Visesa Lakkhana is known, but it's not the 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 three characteristic. At that time, it is not known. So that Laksana, that Sanya of those Laksana, whether it be Anichang, Dukkham, or Anatta, is still not firm. Is that
It's not. It's not there now, isn't it?
it's
The
not there
anicca,
now?
the anat, the anicca and dukkha and anatta is not there now.
It's not there.
And at moment of patipati, just attending, see,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
does not
Hmm.
appear.
It does not appear. Right, right, right. Okay. Thank you, Tanujan.
So Dhamma is the word, not just the word of truth about reality has to be again and again hearing, considering, and the understanding of the first round is not lost, it's there. Firmer and firmer and firmer on and on. The three rounds condition. Because without the understanding of the first round, even at moment of being attending to the nature of it as patipati, it's not lost what is heard. Firmer because it's there. Direct understanding, little by little, direct understanding, not realizing yet.
Yes, Tanujan, that's the difference. Direct understanding and realizing different levels of understanding.
So, Satya Parami is the very important Parami. Sanya never change. It understands deeper and deeper. So, the Satya Parami, be true to the truth. Each level is so very important. So, is there any question about seeing Kun Prakash?
Um, Ajan, it comes the same question again and again. Always, it is a while seeing. It is I am seeing, or I am seeing something outside, like plants, grass, cows, animals.
No, no. Seeing is not there at the glass.
Mhm.
See, that's why we have to talk about it again and again, not to
Mm,
forget about the truth. The world is not far away from head to toe. Seeing is at the eye base, right?
mm.
So close to at the eye base only. But the thinking of that which appears a lot, conditional understanding of the truth, because just seeing does not have any wrong understanding with it. It just arises to see, no matter in the past years and years ago, or now, or any time, or any moment in the future. Seeing cannot be changed. But the nature of seeing is not I or anyone at all. This is the point. To begin to attain to what is there as not anything, not anyone, not any atta or dhammas are anatta, because it is conditioned to arise to be such that degree and then gone. So now we are studying just the reality of one moment among numerous uncountable moments of this moment to be known. The flood or the flux of that which arises and falls away by conditions non-stop with ignorance and attachment. And the moment of beginning to hear about it, to consider the truth of it against the current of ignorance. See, and how many moments in a day, in a month, in a year, in one's life? Never enough at all to understand, to go against the current of ignorance little by little. That's why Buddha said about the akusala by way of oka, yoga, kanta, and so on.
Ajahn, there is no enough conditions accumulated or developed to see the reality as it is. That is how this thinking marks it as something always, isn't it?
Yeah. So how come to be this moment or any moment, long time ago, up to now? Ignorance. See, is it true? But it just mupada, even right
Hmm.
now, or just a moment ago, and the next moment on it. Ignorance is there. No understanding of the truth. So what appears is taken for someone and something. Sankhara Dhamma, the core of the flux of life, the current of ignorance, condition, punya sankhara, apunya sankhara, anicca sankhara. We just talk about the core of the samsara. Ignorance must be there. As long as there is ignorance, no one can stop the way it is. It keeps on by ignorance, attachment, and so on and on and on. That's why we learn to understand one reality at a time, to have firm confidence of the truth, that it cannot be anyone or anything at all. See, that is the way to let go the idea of self or something secretly at moment when it's there, little by little. So the past is Ariya Satya Dhamma, the fourth Ariya Satya Dhamma, the first round, the second round, and the third round. And how long will one live in this life? Is it enough to understand Dhamma, the moment of seeing, hearing right now, or any moment? Without conditions, it cannot arise at all. It's added more and more ignorance and attachment, the condition for samsara, see? That's why listening has to be so very careful, not wishing to gain anything, not wishing to attain enlightenment, because what is meant by enlightenment, it's the moment of ultimate eradication of ignorance with attachment, with wrong understanding. Only. There's so many other levels of akusa to be eradicated, stage by stage, little by little. So without understanding, even from hearing, with careful considering, there can never be a little more understanding of the truth. It just keep on thinking in words about what has been heard. And this is the only way to be the Khanti Parami with Viriya Parami to Nekama Parami, Adidana Parami. See it against the current of ignorance and attachment to the object right now, anytime, different degrees. Can there be the event? Yes, please.
Yes, Ajahn, the only way is start again and again.
The understanding right now is the way.
Really. Okay.
Even it's so very little,
Hmm.
better than wrong understanding, more hindrance to understand the truth. The
And you
danger.
see, Prakash, even when we say start again and again, at that moment, it can be with the idea of I start again.
Hmm. Yes, you're right. Yeah, accumulation is so strong. It comes again. Yeah, self. I am going to start again.
So it's the time to be like those people in Buddha's time, understanding the very, very great patience to understand, seeing right now. Never mind how long it will take to enlighten the truth. How many Buddhas had enlightened? What about one's understanding from one Buddha to another Buddha to another Buddha? It does matter as long as it's so true. It can be developed
Hmm.
with patience. See, the Savaka, the one who listens to the truth with understanding.
I think
To be
patience is very critical, Ajahn, in this case. Keep
that's
developing. Yes.
That's why, without understanding the nature of what is there right now, it's impossible to enlighten the nature of what is there arising and falling away. And without,
Prakash, patience is a perfection, which is important, like you said. But
Hmm.
also, Thanachan very often reminds us again and again about the another perfection, that is satcha, truthfulness. This is also very important, isn't it? Without being truthful, then whatever we talk about, we can talk about patience and other perfections without understanding. So truthfulness is very most important. Understanding conditions truthfulness and all other this thing. So understanding, of course, we have to uh, uh, develop our own understanding, but it's good to be reminded about the different perfections, and I think particularly about truthfulness. It's very important.
Yes. But many a times we are not truthful also because of one is want to give a right answer to Ajahn. Second one is ignorance is so much. Even we don't know. That is ignorance.
Yeah, that's the root, right?
Yeah.
Ignorance. There's
Mm.
so much ignorance.
Can I say something here? I
Please,
think
can.
it's I think when we first start to listen to John and discuss, we're learning a lot of things, all of which seems new. And it is deep and it takes a long time to understand it. But I think the further, I guess I'm expressing my own experience, the further we get into it and learn about it at the intellectual level for sure, the more there can be a recognition of so much that we don't know, so very much, and that we really just we're barely scratching the surface of what needs to be known, and then it I think it's very good that you're hearing about truthfulness, staying true to the truth, and because we can think we know something or think we really understand it, and we don't. But it can sometimes take a while to understand the difference between understanding and not understanding. And again, I'm talking about only at an intellectual level. Without direct understanding, I can see intellectually how it's impossible to really understand the Dhammas. So the patience is, I think the patience grows more when you realize there's nothing you can do other than listen and consider. And discussing is a big part of that. So I guess that's not this is not talking about the present moment, other than to some extent, Banyak understanding can know not only what you understand, but what you don't. It takes some understanding, I think, for bits of understanding to even know that there certainly is no complete, full, or direct understanding of the truth. So it's very slow, it's very gradual, and very subtle. So subtle as to what understanding really is.
And it begins not to be you. It's
Yes.
understanding, see?
Yes.
So very gradually, little by little, it works its way.
Mm-hmm.
No one there at all.
Right.
Because as long as it's someone or I is wrong.
That's right.
So right understanding is working its way little by little.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you can't be right understanding. I can't be right understanding. But it takes a long time. Can take a long time to recognize that.
To understand the truth of what is there right now, stage by stage. And now it's just the intellectual stage. But it develops unknowingly. So very little at a time. It's so great because it's so true. It can go
Yes.
against the current of ignorance and attachment very carefully, on and on and on. That's why it doesn't matter at all when there will be a moment of enlighten the nature of what is there, as we have talked about. One day, we don't know, as long as there is a little more understanding with patience and all kinds of parami. Nothing to be done. See, just listening and understanding. There is a little more unknown understanding by itself, gradually, because today there is more understanding a little more.
Ajahn, when you say nothing to be done, for me, little contradiction, like associate with right people, listening to Dhamma, reading the right books. Can we say nothing to be done when we are doing this? And of course, it is not Atta myself is doing, that should be the context.
If you mean different dhammas are performing different functions, it's okay. But if you mean that there is a self who has to do something, who is doing something, then that's wrong.
Yeah, without self. Yeah.
Prakash, I listened a little bit earlier when we were eating lunch to this point of what shall we do and what is to be done. It is wise considering now. It's by conditions. It's not anyone who is considering. It's not anything to be done to consider. It's just at this moment the wise considering by conditions. Next moment, no wise condition, wondering about what I can do. So it's anatta, it's now. And when we say associating with a wise person, is it sitting for an hour in a Zoom with a Jan, or is it just a moment of understanding? At a moment of understanding, there is association with the wise. There's association with what the Buddha taught for a moment. So no one can make wise considering arise by turning on the Zoom or reading the book, because each reality at each moment arises by conditions. That's why the beginning is again at each moment, now and now. No one can stop unwise considering at the next moment while thinking about lunch or something else, even right now. So whatever we talk about is just a Dhamma, a reality arising for a moment and gone. So even when we talk about associating with the wise, it's just a reality for a moment, gone. When we talk about wise considering, it's for a moment, gone. When we talk about following the path, it's just referring to a moment of right understanding and then gone. No one on the path, no one that can make wise considering arising by turning on the Zoom or doing anything. So the only reason we discuss about different dhammas, different elements, different ayatanas, different khandas, different namas, different rupas, is to understand nothing to be done, no one to do anything, no question about what shall I do to have understanding, because there are just different dhammas now. If understanding arises, it arises. But if there's never been any hearing about the different dhammas, about the truth, no chance for it to arise. So it's so deep and subtle because no one there, and however much listening and hearing, there is so much clinging to the idea of what shall I do? How can I do it? Even if I say, oh, no one to do it, but still behind it, there is the idea of what shall I do? What can be done? Will it help if I listen to more Zooms? Should I read more books? This is not the understanding of Dhamma now.
And even association with a wise person. If one thinks in the Buddha's time, that wise person was the Buddha, of course. But people could only have the privilege of encountering the Buddha if their past karma was sufficient to condition that. And it's the same for us now, that associating with the wise person, the person from whom one can hear some useful explanation of the Dhamma, cannot be manufactured to happen. It just occurs from time to time by conditions. And it's really conditioned by one's past karma that happens. It's not something to be done in the sense of one might think of practicing for a musical instrument or anything like that, of course. So, and the second factor that you mentioned is hearing the true Dhamma, not listening. There's a difference between listening and hearing, of course. Not to get too technical about it, but again, whether one hears true Dhamma on a given occasion is also beyond our control. It may happen, it may not. The discussion may be over our head, or for whatever reason, there may be distracting thoughts on our part. So again, it's not something that one can will to happen. It happens by conditions, and if it happens more often, then it's very beneficial that it should be the case. And as Sarah has mentioned, the reflecting on the Dhamma is not a deliberate and studied reflection. It's something that happens without even perhaps being aware of it. But at any time, in any situation, whatever one is doing, there can be reflection on Dhamma if it's conditioned to happen, if one's interest is such, or if there's something that triggers the thinking about a discussion, something one heard earlier. So all these factors are not things to be done, but things that may occur if one is fortunate enough. Thank you.
And the considering, the reflecting, the interest, these are the accumulations, the habits, the tendencies that have developed over countless lifetimes. Many people listen to the Buddha, but no interest. Or many people listen to Ajahn or turn on to the Zooms, no interest, leave straight away. So it depends on the interest, but no one can make the interest arise. No one can make the wise reflections arise. It just depends on conditions, on habits, on accumulations, whether at this very moment there is wise considering or another habit of enjoying what is seen or heard as usual. So each moment is conditioned. The habits are conditioned. The seeing now, the hearing now is conditioned. Nothing to be done. That's why we learn about dhammas and about different conditions to understand deeper and deeper. Nothing to be done at all. So understanding means letting go of the baggage of what I should do or what should be done now.
Really letting go of the baggage of I.
And there is nothing to be done by akusala, but there's a lot to be done by kusala, because Ajahn also says, do good and study Dhamma.
But not I that does good, not I that studies Dhamma. That's the point. It means understand the benefit of kusala, the benefit of kindness now, the benefit of understanding, but not be kind, understand, do something. And the same with understanding. Understanding develops, but not you understand, not do something to understand. So it's like this throughout whatever we read of the Buddha's teachings. It can all be read with the idea of do something, do good, develop understanding. But in truth, they're dhammas arising by conditions, not anything to be done by you or me.
Do good in the sense of don't do anything for yourself, don't do anything with the idea of self, but do good for the benefit of the others, not for yourself, with the idea of anatta, with with understanding, with more understanding about the truth about the truth of anatta and the reality of the present moment, which cannot be anything or anyone.
And that means understand the good cannot be made to rise like now. If I say do good, no one can make metta arise. No one can make understanding arise. But understanding understands the benefit of goodness.
That wouldn't be doing it. That wouldn't be doing any good. It would be just
kindness or generosity.
Doing with the idea of self, which is not something useful to do.
Right. So it's only understanding that leads to the development of all kinds of goodness. Without understanding, there cannot be development of good, but it's not anyone that can understand or can make understanding arise. Mm-hmm. No one can make good arise. No one can make understanding arise, but understanding develops through the careful considering and reflecting about dhammas. Even what they have written for the logo for the foundation, do good and develop understanding. It's misunderstood. We had a discussion about this. People think about doing good, about performing good deeds or having metta, but there has to be the understanding of Dhamma now as anatta, as he mentioned.
But it can also be understood as not to be forgetful. So it's a reminder that understanding, if developed correctly, then one would be mindful, one would remember to do good.
But again, not I that remembers, not I that is forgetful. With understanding, there is more appreciation of just how much forgetfulness there is. No one can stop being forgetful. No one can understand, but the understanding leads to more careful attention, more mindfulness, less forgetfulness, but not by I trying. So it always comes back to understanding now.
Because it's also easy to forget that and be so focused on understanding to just overlook the akusala that arises and just think that it's all conditioned, it's anatta. And I think do good is a reminder that it's, one just can't just focus. Just, give the explanation, explain away and say that it's anatta and not, remember to do good. That it's akusala is akusala and kusala is kusala. In other words, it's
and
different.
If anger arises now, attachment arises. The Dhamma's not belonging to you or me. There can be understanding even at that moment when there is attachment appearing, and at that moment, no heedlessness, because being heedful means being aware of what appears, understanding what appears, no matter what the object, no matter its great attachment or strong anger or ignorance, or whether it's kindness or generosity. It has to be the letting go of clinging to the idea of I that is good or bad.
So that's just saying first comes right understanding.
Yes, always.
First always comes right understanding.
Yes. Otherwise, it's all taken for my good, my metta, my generosity, my anger, and so on. So first, there has to be from the very start the understanding that they are just dhammas, anatta, nothing to be done by anyone.
Metta, Metta, we can't hear you.
For us, we understand the deep meaning of the understand Dhamma and do good. Because Tanajan teach us for many years, more than 70 years, about no self, no one. We just listen the Dhamma, the true Dhamma of the words that the Buddha enlightened. Tanajan teach us for a long time to understand the meaning of anatta, no one, no self, try to do anything. Just understand.
The very beginning,
only.
yes.
Yeah,
always understanding
only the way
from the
that
start.
every time Tanajan teach us, every time, every time, there is no one, no self to understand the subtle meaning of the reality which is appearing right now. There is no one to understand. This morning also Tanajan teach, no one try to understand anything. Shall we do anything? How can we understand the truth? No, there is no one. Just the only way to understand the truth. Yeah.
And no matter it's good or bad, it's anatta. It's understanding from the start. And it's not Ajahn's teaching, it's the Buddha's teaching from the start that the Dhammas are anatta, to be understood. So without the Buddha's teaching, no one would have any idea. But like you say, Metta, all the decades we've been listening to Ajahn, it's always the same message about now, understand reality now, nothing to be done. If there's an idea of I should do good first, it's not the right way.
Yeah,
It has to be understanding, and the good develops with understanding.
Each word that Tanajan said is from the Buddha.
Yes.
Each word, from the Buddha.
I like to
know the truth. That the most important thing to understand the truth which is appearing right now.
No, and I like to stress this point that it's from the Buddha, because like when we're in Vietnam, people may say, oh, this teacher says this and that teacher says that and Ajahn says that, and we don't know what is right. So let's consider what the Buddha taught and test out whether it's true or not. And the good friends share what the Buddha's taught.
I think this is very important, because the truth can only come from the Buddha, no one else. And to refer to as Thanachan's understanding, Thanachan teaches out, can lead to, wrong ideas about this thing. And I think it's good to always refer back to the Buddha and say it's the Buddha. And that reflects one's own confidence, because it is the Buddha's teachings.
And it can also lead to a lot of clinging. So this is why I also like to encourage people to appreciate that it's the truth taught by the Buddha, and the truth is the truth. And of course, we're so fortunate to have very good friends like Ajahn to share it, but good to appreciate that what is right is what the Buddha taught. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, people just cling to this teacher or that teacher, or think this one is right and that one's not. But let's consider and read and test out what is right and where it came from. And even then, like in our discussions here last week, we hardly even mentioned the word Buddha, because actually it has to be each one's understanding. One has to test for oneself whether I can develop good, or whether goodness develops through understanding, whether really there's anything I can do or not. So that's why the careful considering has to be there, no matter what words or language we use.
Well, things going through my mind. The emphasis on what is now, that understanding now, this moment, is the most important thing. And that's a very, very gradual. I've also find it's helpful to know about conditions, because when we start listening to the Dhamma, we often hear, well, perhaps not in your group, Sarah, but we've often heard so many times about things being conditioned. And I think I have an idea of what that means and what some of the conditions are. But it doesn't replace the idea of self. But understanding about conditions, well, I guess initially when I was thinking about it, no, it's like I say, it doesn't replace the idea of self, but it at least intellectually, it makes it more more tenable until there's some deep understanding as to, you've been listening and considering enough that you can see how there is no self. But without understanding conditions, and I don't mean the list of them, but that there are other factors at play. That's a terrible expression to use, but that for instance, interest in the thinking about wise considering, etc. There are conditions that make that possible. Like if there weren't an interest in Buddhism or some tendency towards interest in the subject at all, there couldn't be the wise considering for the development of understanding.
Can we say,
Yes,
and if there's no interest in understanding the truth
Yes.
of life? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Thanks, Sukin.
and we
'Cause I
see
think
this
that-
we see this all the time. Like some
Yeah.
people come to our discussions here are so interested, and when is the next discussion? Others, thank you very much, but
I know.
not what they're looking for, perhaps. And when you say what is there now, this is what's important, and whether now is seeing or hearing or
Mhm.
pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, kindness or anger, doesn't matter at all, because they're all conditioned dhammas. It's the
Mhm.
understanding of what
Yes.
appears now that is important, not the clinging and trying to be good or have more metta.
Right. Oh, for sure.
But just
for sure.
understanding right now
But when
that leads without expectation and without trying to having more goodness.
It's interesting though, because when we talk about I understand completely. Some people are never come back again when they've heard of it, and other people are really interested in coming back. So it's not them I need to come back. It's tendencies that have accumulated over a lot of time and over many lives. And I've actually found when talking to people sometimes that explaining, if we're talking about now and these moments now and why one might be interested or not interested, even saying something about the accumulation of tendencies over many lives, there's sort of I didn't do that. That just happened. I don't know. I guess that's from my own experience trying to speak to people about it, knowing that accumulations from many lives past.
And I think most people too, even in a sort of beginning conversation, they can begin to appreciate that the cause of seeing now or hearing now is different from the cause for liking or getting angry with what has been seen or heard. So one is result and one is the cause, the tendencies. One person likes what's heard, one doesn't like it. One person's agitated, one would like to listen again. So I think we don't have to call it particular conditions, but people can begin to appreciate that it's not I that decides to be angry or to have understanding or to like or dislike, but these
I agree with that
responses
completely.
arise.
Yes, you can do it without talking about conditions, but I think you're right. The accumulated tendencies, that seems to be something that, well, I've always found it helpful. The more I understand about that, the better. And that keeps changing, that understanding, growing. I think that's the direction it's going in, ever so slowly. But my experience, it was certainly helpful for me. And I've found that a few times talking to people, and don't even need to use the word conditions. But anyway, I just thought I'd relate that one.
I was editing an old recording this morning from about 25 years ago, and Nina was saying at that time that she was a Catholic, and she just, when she first met Ajahn, but Ajahn didn't say, oh, Buddha this and not Catholic that and God that.
No.
She just said, understand what is true now, what is real now. One doesn't have to use words that are off-putting to people. One can just help people to consider for themselves what is seen now, what is touched now, what is the eye that we think hears and sees. Can it be seen or heard or just thought about? So I think the point is just to encourage anyone to consider more by conditions. So Prakash, anything that you can do now or you should do now?
Yeah, all by conditions. So,
Nothing to be done at all. Just listening by conditions, considering by conditions, appreciating what is important in life, what is to be understood now by conditions. That's it.
even careful consideration, what we talk, is also by condition, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Even the doubt when we say, isn't it, is by conditions too. No one chooses to have doubt, but if there's doubt and wondering if this is correct, that's by conditions too. Each moment, the considering, the doubt, the wondering, the seeing now, each reality by conditions, not by anyone's choice or trying to do anything. And even when the moments of trying to do with wrong understanding, even that's conditioned, even that can be understood, just another Dhamma or many other Dhammas all gone.
And Prakash, after this discussion is over, when you're having your lunch, for example, there can be right understanding. And at that moment, you're associating with the wise.
There can be wrong understanding and no associating with wise, different moments. Moments of confidence, moments of understanding, moments of wrong understanding, moments of doubt. All anatta, all unimportant, all gone. Otherwise, there's just clinging to having the understanding, which doesn't help at all.
No. And clinging to the understanding can be my understanding. So.
Ajahn, we have just a few minutes left. Can you please use that time?
The more understanding, the more firm confidence of parami. So the understanding right now is moments of parami, little by little, until all dhammas are anatta. Whatever is real is only Dhamma, no one at all, not anything at all. It's not just repeat it, but begin to consider a little more of that which is now appearing. But it cannot be done, not at all, but by hearing again and again, discussing again and again, considering again and again. That's the way it develops. That's the way of parami, the development of parami. until the Four Noble Truths can be so very firm and firmer and firmer understood. For example, right now, right understanding understands what level of parami, moment of hearing, considering, until it's there, a little more understanding developed. So very, very slowly, comparing to the accumulation of ignorance and attachment. How long ago? Just understand whatever is there instantly by conditions. Even there is the will to try to understand or to what. Later on, it will appear as just a moment, conditioned, firmer and firmer confidence of the truth. Without considering, discussing, listening to the truth, how can there be condition to have a little more firm confidence of the truth? So very little. It doesn't matter. It's there unknowingly, little by little. And there is not yet the clear comprehension or the realization of seeing right now, which can be realized later with a little more understanding, a little more attention to that which is unattended before. If you don't talk about it, no condition even to think about it. But now there is seeing, and there's that which is seeing, even that can condition a little more interest and understanding, and the parami. Understanding it without understanding whatever is there as it is, by conditions. There cannot be the letting go of ignorance and attachment and wrong understanding of self or atta at all. That's why we keep on just talking again and again about what is now appearing little by little, discussing again and again, and right understanding develops so very gradually, unknowingly. And that's the way to have less attachment or will to attain the truth, the arising and falling way. Impossible, not by any will or any desire, any wishes, but only by right now. Parami has developed at moment of discussing and understanding, little by little. No other way, because there are different degrees of understanding, different stages. Hearing, like now, discussing on Dhamma, and even there's no discussing, no hearing, no reading, there can be conditioned to consider it, thinking about the truth by conditions, until it's the moment of understanding with awareness of a reality, just like now, so natural, by conditions. So what appears now, in truth, it has to be directly experienced. Otherwise, there must be doubt and just talk about it. But discussing, talking about it is so very, very beneficial because it conditions moments of considering it again and again, little by little. And that's the way it is. So, is that right? Satya Bharami all the time. The only way right now or anytime.
Yes, and the understanding of dharmas as anatta has to grow deeper and deeper. So, Alberto, the good develops for understanding and the benefit of others, but not anyone who does good. So, through understanding, the paramis develop and the good develops, but not anyone on the path, not anyone to do good at all, not anyone to do anything for anyone. So it all comes back to understanding whatever appears now. The
There
trying
was no
is there.
such understanding. Otherwise, when there's akusala, we are disturbed, right?
Of understanding is just another conditioned Dhamma.
So it's not just do good, but also study Dhamma.
Right, Ajahn.
And without the studying of Dhamma, studying of realities as anatta, the good will all be taken for I do good, for sure. Like it was before we listened to the teachings.
Otherwise,
Even after Sarah, I think it's very common. It's what motivates.
Very common. It's very common. I hear
motivates,
people saying
very,
all the
very
time,
common.
"Oh, we should do good. We should do this and that." Not the understanding of, not the real study of Dhammas now. Yes. Otherwise, it's just like any other teaching. The Christians do good. Everyone does good. But what about the understanding of Dhammas as anatta from the start?
and if it's not doing good, it's doing bad. See, the opposite instantly. Either one.
I think that's perhaps Alberto's point also, that it's
Also,
just a reminder. It's just a reminder about the value of kusala over akusala.
also remember, Ajahn said, do good or be good. So it's different words, but the meaning is the same. Develop kusala, all kinds of kusala, but as Ajahn pointed out, by studying Dhamma.
And if it's the idea of my good or I'm developing good, then that's bad at that moment. It's not any good at all. Like, oh, I must develop more metta or have more metta now. That's clinging. It's not any development of good at all. So that's why it comes back to the understanding. Otherwise, all that trying and expectation and wishing for good will be taken for good, but it's not. It's all clinging and wrong understanding.
That's why it's nothing to be done. Nothing to be done.
To be done at all. No one to do good.
Definitely, yeah.
It's not just study Dhamma and do bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't help.
So it's time now. Appreciate the moment of Parami. สวัสดีค่ะ